Yo, how the heck are you? I'm fine. It's stale shady or shady stale, depending on who you talk to. Trying to keep it real. I'm out with the dog, the star of the Three Stooges. Dun it, 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 dun it. Do 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 do. Hey, how the heck are you tonight? I am pretty good myself. I'm taking Roni around the lake. Richard's been keeping very busy lately. And I'll tell you what, I filled my end of the bargain. Been talking about it for the longest time, and I finally got to show you all my other way that Stale Shady gets his jollies. It's more or less a perfect day. Well, there was a couple minor kinks. We planned on going out to breakfast, and the diner was closed, but I'm not much of a breakfast person anyway. So we went to the supermarket and just bought lunch. Shoved the lunch in my dry bag, and that was all I needed. Got on the river right around noon, right at the heat of the day. It's the way I like to time it. Got on that river right around noon. O-R-E-N. Orion. It was perfect timing, my friend. Got on the river at noon. Got to show off all those things I was talking about. Loop Ortiz, thank you for the emoji hearts. Loopy Ortega, my bad. I have difficulty reading at night. I'm walking the dog around the lake. Had a perfect day. Got to show all my subscribers how Richard goes down the river. Thank you for the hearts. You guys are the bomb. You guys are terrific. And the likes are flying my way. Yo, 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 it's Richard keeping it real. How'd you like the river videos? I got to show you some significant rapids and how some of us kayak river maggots spend their afternoon. Matthew Dorman. Yo, yo, yo. It is a Catahoula. Catahoula, I never heard of it until I got it. I talked to people who love dogs, and they never heard of a Catahoula. Like a cat and a hula hoop. Catahoula. Louisiana state dog. I never even heard of them. But that's what kind of dog it is. So I'm telling everybody, Matthew Dorman, a Catahoula, like cat, like a pussy cat, and hula hoop, like a hula hoop. One of them things you do to dance around your hips. Cat-a-hula. I'm not exactly how it's sure it's spelled, but you pronounce it Catahoula. There you go. Look it up. They're awesome dogs. You know they're as fast as greyhounds? They can run 45 miles an hour. Google it, you'll see it. They're fast as greyhounds. Purebred, Louisiana State Dog. So, Matthew, I got to show all my subscribers the Lehigh River Gorge. It's a whitewater river. I've been talking about it for the longest time, and I finally got to show all you guys. I was able to point out some significant whitewater rapids and how we play in our kayaks, and I got to show what the parking lots are like, how crowded it gets down there, and all the people talking river murk, Matthew and Lupe Ortega. And it turned out to be a perfect day. We spent quite a few hours on the river, no casualties. Nobody came out of their boat and went for any nasty swims. My friend had a close call. He hit a couple rocks backwards and he almost bit the dust, but it was a nice save. It was on a rapid called Staircase, and it was very bony, and he wasn't paying attention. And it was a good save, a lot of skill involved, but also there was a lot of luck. And he didn't have to come out of his boat and go for a swim. I would have been there right for him anyway, in case he had to. And when we got down to the end of the river, I showed everybody what the takeout looks like. And I talked to the river rangers, the DCNR. They're like the people who run the whole show. Thank you for the hearts. Nice. Must have been fun, Richard. It was. It was. I love whitewater kayaking. I've been doing it 40 years. I only live a mile or so away from the river. I know the river like the back of my hand. And I taught my friend how to paddle, and he came up from Maryland. And we went down the river today, and it was terrific. It was very much fun. And I always wanted to show all my subscribers because I talk about it all the time. And I was able to fulfill what I always brag about. Not many, I'm not good at many things, okay? But there are certain things that I am proud of. And kayaking, whitewater skills are one of them. And another thing I'm proud of is I'm a pyrotechnician. I make my own fireworks, and all my subscribers know that also. And there's one more thing I'm proud at, but I can't say it or I'll get kicked off YouTube. Let's just say I grow beautiful tomato plants. And the friggin' plants are beautiful. And the tomatoes are nice and ripe. And I'm going to be spending hours and hours picking tomatoes tomorrow and the next day. And I'm proud of that skill too. Kind of say I got a green thumb. Try to read between the lines. So those are the only things I'm proud of. Everything else, I'm kind of like just a regular person. Kind of like a loser, really. I'm kind of out of my mind. I have to break out of my straitjacket from time to time and get out of that rubber room. They keep trying to 302 me. And my psychiatrist is telling me that I'm driving him crazy. But other than that, everything's perfect. Perfect. And you know what else is good? I often worry about this guy here, that I'm going to be out of the house for a long time. But my other half was hungover today, and both of them slept in an air-conditioned room the whole time I was out. So I didn't even have to worry about the dog, because it was a hot one today. And I'm the only one that can really handle this dog. So it stayed in the air condition the whole time I was out, and everything went fine. Thank you for the hearts again. You guys are terrific. All of you guys are terrific. And I am in such a great mood. Things are going to start slowing down tomorrow. No, I don't think you're crazy. Actually, I think you're cool. Aw, you're very nice. What a compliment. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So things are going to start calming down. I got a lot of tomatoes to pick and all that tomorrow, but I could do that at my own leisure. And my friend's going to go back to Maryland, and the weather's looking nice, and I'm not going to be under any type of gun where I have to get things done. So I'll go back to my normal live streaming, what all my subscribers are more or less used to, of me going through like the parks down by that Lehigh River Gorge where I was kayaking today. So I'll go back sort of like the norm. And but thank you for the compliment again. Dorman, definitely. Yo, 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 it's Richard. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Good old Roni. That's his name, Roni, by the way. Roni. That's my son. I gave birth to him. I gave birth to him 4 years ago. He'll be 4 in November. So almost 3.5 years is when I gave birth to this dog. That's my son. I can't live a second without him. That was my main concern, is that he might get a little hot today while I was out on the river. But he stayed in an air-conditioned room, and I didn't even have to worry about my doggy. So it was just perfect. Perfect. And I met a bunch of people, and I got to know their names. And I seen this guy who I haven't seen in years on the river. He's an expert kayaker, but he decided to take up paddleboard. And paddleboard are one of them things you just stand on. Normally, you'll see them like on flat water or on the ocean, but nowadays they're taking them on white water. Oh, and I seen another paddle person take a mean, he bit the dust so hard. He was going through some big waves, and I seen him, he was like shaking, he was freaking out. He had a full face helmet on like Evel Knievel, and he had knee pads and elbow pads, and man, did he do a face plant and took a nasty swim off that paddleboard. Go ahead, I'll answer your question. I just want to tell you real quick. So after he got his act together and swam to the side and caught his breath, I paddled up to him, and I looked him in the eye, and I said, I have the utmost respect for you, because that was the nastiest wipeout I think I've ever seen in my life. And he looked me in the eye, and he said, thank you. I appreciate it. Go ahead, what's your question? If you don't mind telling me the state you live in. Pennsylvania. I don't mind. I like telling people where I live. I live in northeast Pennsylvania. I'm a mile from the Lehigh River. We have amazingly, terribly cold winters. Last winter, it went down to -16. I used to laugh at people that put coats on their dogs, but I turned into one of those people. I had to get a coat for my dog this winter. You know, I used to laugh at people. I'm like, dogs are tough enough, man. But when it goes down to -16, I had to get a coat for that guy. I even got uploads of that somewhere in my videos. I'm walking off the trail right now. It's hard to see where I'm going. I got a bright light in my face. And go back to the dog. Yeah, Pennsylvania, northeast. I'm about an hour from Philadelphia, about an hour and a half from Philadelphia, about an hour and a half from New York, about 2 hours from New Jersey. So I'm dead smack in the middle. Pennsylvania. Beautiful state. Huge state. I paddle another river on the western part of Pennsylvania. It's called the Agozzino. It's near Pittsburgh, it's near Ohio, and that's like a class 3 river. Some people call it class 4. The river I was on today was like a class 2 plus river. Has very significant rapids. And Matthew! Oh, Burr, yeah. -16, I'm not exaggerating. You could ask any of my subscribers when I say something, I try to keep it as real as possible so that whenever I say something, you believe me. And that's all there is to it, because I keep things real. Yeah, minus 16. But we had a cold winter, Matt. It was a really cold winter, Matt. I think even Florida had snow this winter. This was an unusually cold winter. But that lake that's out back of my house that I walk around every day, that was frozen solid. They were driving ATVs on it. I think I even seen one nut take his pickup truck on it. That's taking a chance. But that's how cold it got. They were driving their vehicles on it. I seen people ice fishing this year. And then we had a heat wave a couple weeks ago. It actually went up to 95. It never goes up to, we go whole summers in this area without hitting 90 degrees. That happens quite often. So, and to be a whitewater kayaker, you have to deal with cold water, and I hate cold water. I was wearing a neoprene Farmer John today. I had a paddle jacket on, and I was still bitching that it was cold. Water temperature was around 70 degrees. The air temperature was around 83. And I was still bitching because it was cold. But I guess I'm a man and I finished it up. But I got some cool uploads from that river because I wanted to live stream the whole thing and show all my subscribers. But there was no connection. So unfortunately, I could not live stream. I especially wanted to show off that halfway point, the Lunch Rock place, because it's this huge rock. It's about halfway down. And all the rafting people and all the kayakers and all the canoers, they all pull over there and they sit down and they have their lunch. And it's a really awesome scene. It's in the middle of the canyon. You know, all you see are tall canyon walls going up real high. And you're in the middle of nowhere and everybody's just chilling. But the good news is I was able to upload shorts. And anybody who is interested can check out my shorts. And they'll get a general idea of what this Lehigh River looks like. Class 2, Class 3 water. I did the upper section. It's about a 9-mile stretch. There is a lower section. It's around 20 miles. But I like doing the upper section. It's close to my house. It's about 2 or 3 miles for me to drive to it. And then it's 9 river miles to the next takeout point. And that's the section I like to run. I have it memorized like the back of my hand. You know, I've been living here a long time. I used to get out every weekend. I've been paddling for 40 years. So you do the math. Every weekend for 40 years. And I used to go all year round. I had a dry suit and I was like, didn't care about cold when I was young. And I used to go in January and February. So you do the math. 40 years, every weekend, I paddled that river at least 500 times. And that's an underestimation. So with being recently cold there, do you have summers that aren't too hot? Exactly. That is exactly right. Summer, I'm wearing a flannel right now. I've got a flannel shirt on right now. I talked to my sister that lives in Philadelphia. She's dying. They're dying over it down there in Philly. My friend who lives in Maryland, he says they're dying there all the time too. So yeah, this is a relatively cool area. There's nothing but trees around here. You know, there's no asphalt to heat up. There's no blacktop. So you know, nights are cool no matter what. We're having a cool night tonight. I'm sleeping with the window open. Man, I've been so busy, Matt, that I used to put the TV on to fall asleep at night. Now, I don't even put the TV on anymore. I get up at like, 7:30. I go down, I clean up the lake. I volunteer down on that lake that right out back of my house. And I pick up everything. I pick up the cigarette butts. I pick up the goose duty. I pick up all the firework trash. And nobody even knows I do it. Some of the local fishermen see me down there and they're grateful. But that's how I get my gratitude. I keep that lake spotless for everybody else because there is a family of geese down there and they do mess it up a little. But I usually get up in the morning, have half a pot of coffee, And then I go down, I put my rubber gloves on, I bring a 5-gallon bucket, and I make that lake spick and span. Beautiful. And some of the local fishermen, they thank me. But that's about it. I get a lot of gratitude out of it, just knowing that everybody that lives near this lake can come down with their children, put a blanket down, lay down next to the lake, and not have to worry about any nonsense. So, and then I usually finish that up around 9 o'clock because I like to do that before it gets hot. And then I might build some fireworks, and then I run to the store for anybody who might need something. That's awesome. I bet it feels amazing cleaning that lake for others, yourself, and everyone can have a beautiful lake. Yes, I honest to goodness, the gratitude I get out of that is worth more than any money somebody gave me. And I volunteer it, and I do it. And thank you. The fact that you just said that to me gives me more gratitude, and I appreciate it, Matt. So then after that, I make my fireworks maybe. I'm also a pyrotechnician, Matt. And I make my own fireworks. If you watch some of my videos, you can see how good my work is. I make big rockets. I make big mortar shells. I make the kind of fireworks that you would see at a professional show. And there's nothing that I can't make. I can do it all. It's only a hobby. And I'm not a professional because I don't sell any of my stuff. I don't transport it. I'm not doing anything illegal. You're allowed to build fireworks and set them off on your own property. Fireworks are legal in Pennsylvania anyway, but I don't build the commercial fireworks. I build the real McCoy. I build what you see at professional shows. And that's another way Richard gets his jollies. Thank you. Nice. What are the largest fireworks in general? Well, say you go to a professional show, you'll see like 2 or 3 inch shells go up into the air. Some of my largest shells are 6 inch. Very rarely will you see a 6 inch shell at a professional fireworks, unless there's a big open field or something and they have special permits. So those are the biggest shells I build. But I'm mostly proud of my rockets. I make a lot of black powder rockets, and they're easy, and I can pound them out in 5 minutes. But I make also whistle strobe rockets, and I have 6-pound tooling. That's like the largest tooling that you could get without making your own custom tooling. And my 6-inch rocket whistle fuel, strobe fuel, has enough power to lift an 8-inch ball shell 1,000 feet in the air. 8-inch, that's about the size of a bowling ball. I'm putting that shit up 1,000 feet in the air. And I give it a nice bottom shot. You know, when you see that flash and you hear the boom. That's another way to get my jollies. So what is your favorite you made? My rockets are the favorite. I pride myself in the rockets. Black powder rockets you can ram with a hammer, but the whistle fuel, it has to be pressed. You got to have a certain type of cardboard tube because under the pressure of the press, it'll crush the tube. People ask me how long it takes me to make fireworks, and I can't answer that because it takes me 4 hours just to mill up black powder. And then I got to make black powder is most of the firework, but I have to make the garnitures in the header, in the ball shell. So that would be, I have to make stars. I have to have time fuse so that the fireworks explode just at the right point when they reach their apogee. That's the highest point up in the air. So I'm proud of my rockets. That's what I'm really proud of. And a lot of people ask me to make quarter sticks in them 80s, and I'll do some of my favors, but I try to stay away from illegal fireworks. I'll make some of the loud booms for some of my friends, but for the most part, I stay away from that. I don't need any trouble, especially with the tomato plants and all that. So, and I don't know, what else could I tell you? I love all animals. There are deer. If I don't see 10 deer a day around here on my walk, then something's wrong. If I don't see at least 10 deer on one walk, then there's a problem. We have black bear around here. We have rattlesnake. We have all kinds of snakes, but one of the things I'm concerned about are rattlesnakes. And I'm also slightly concerned about the copperheads. They're poisonous too. I gotta get my bearings here and see where I'm at. Hang on. I know where I'm at. Okay. Oh, I'm at the clubhouse. I live in a gated community. It's kind of like a retirement community. So me making fireworks and retirement community don't really go together. Because, first of all, my dog's scared of loud noises. So when I make the big ones, I have to walk down to these power lines. It's like about a 15-minute walk from my house. And it's away from the gated community. And I blow all my goodies off down by these power lines. So and then so I live, and yeah, and that's where I'm at right now. Here's the pool. I never been in the pool. In all these years I lived here, I think I've been in there twice. And there's the clubhouse. All these senior citizens. Oh, my dog. Oh my God, a skunk. That's a skunk. Runs. Oh, please. I think my dog just got sprayed. I just came across a skunk. Can you see that? It ran in that tunnel. My dog just got sprayed. Poor guy. Oh well. My dog just got sprayed by a skunk. Now my dog's gonna stink for 2 weeks. Oh my God, I smell it from here. Poor guy. That's what you get, son. My dog just got sprayed. Come here, mister. Come here. You poor dog. Listen, I might have to... Oh, the poor guy. Man, it smells like good weed. Poor dog got sprayed. It's my fault. I should have been paying attention a little better. He yanked right out of his harness. Oh, well. How do you get the smell of skunk off? Come here, son. You poor guy. I'm going to have to end this stream because I'm smelling his head. He got it right in the face. His eyes are watering. His mouth's watering. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to end the stream. And I'm going to have to take care of him. He's trying to roll. He's trying to get the smell off him right now. Poor guy. Yep, I was telling you about the wildlife, and right then and there, a skunk got him. This wouldn't be the first time. Nothing. You can't hose them off. That just makes it worse. The last time this happened, skunk smell for 2 weeks. But this time, I think he got it right in the eyes. I'm gonna have to Google it. I think he'll be all right, but he's probably in a little bit of pain right now. Poor guy. All right, I'm gonna have to end the stream and take care of my baby. So I'm sorry you guys had to witness that, but all right, Richard has to go. I'll see you later. Thank you for tuning in, though, anyway.